Hey everyone, I hope you all had a great couple of weeks. Spring is on its way, and our show, Staging Lanes, is back, where we stage our drivers and manufacturers to bring you their expertise, sponsors, and products. I am your host, Tanya Sen from Muskoka Outlaws NPRC, teamed up with Canadian No Prep RC Drag Racing. These shows have been created to inform and inspire all those participating and interested in this racing hobby/sport. Tonight's show will be loaded with information and inspiration with two very special guests. Before I introduce them and say too much, let's bring up our announcements. So, Muskoka Outlaws NPRC is going to try and run their first race April 16th at around 10 a.m. for test and tune and start the race by noon. Canada No Prep RC Drag Racing teamed with the ESO and Muskoka Outlaws NPRC is now registered for the NPRC Racing Series. It's $15 per race, outlaw cars only. Please see Chuck Taylor or Ryan Lucas for more information. First race will be May 7th. Also, a special announcement for Jason Zarb. If interested in a 17.5 Losi 22S, please see Jason Zarb. Also, I just have some really amazing announcements that with King of the Streets in Las Vegas, Chuck has won his first 2 rounds. I'm not sure if he's played his 3rd round. I apologize, but I'm really excited to announce that as well. I would have played clips, but I wanted to get permission from Desert Hobbies before I did so. So thank you for check them out when you get a chance. Yeah, you'll see Chuck in winning his first 2 rounds. So, and last announcement, or sorry, 2 more announcements. If you have any comments, suggestions, or announcements for the show, please message me or Staging Lanes. And please see Staging Lanes YouTube channel and subscribe so we can also broadcast live from YouTube as well, including races. And we are a live show, so please comment and ask questions. We will try and answer them. Thank you everyone for being here. So thank you everyone for being here tonight again. I don't know about you guys, but I'm super psyched about this year's racing season. How about you? Oh, thanks, Bill. I'm sorry to hear that, but so Bill just said Chuck lost in his 3rd round, but soon he'll get better for sure. So just sorry about that interruption. I don't know about you guys, but I'm super psyched about this year's racing season. We have a lot of amazing manufacturers to choose from and great hobby stores to carry these products, like Xtreme Hobbies. The store is a true RC heaven with great staff and owned none other by Heather Gordon. Please give a warm welcome to Heather. And to join Heather on this show and inspire my own demographic, let's also welcome a racer, videographer, and YouTuber to the show, Heather Andrews. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
Both Heather. Sorry about that, ladies.
Thanks for having me.
Happy to have you both. I hate to use the term, but I think it's a ladies' night, right?
It is.
Absolutely.
The tide is a-turning.
Yeah, exactly. I want to thank you both for being here tonight and giving us your time. I really do appreciate it. I want to start with you both to tell us a little bit about yourselves. Heather G., Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Like personally wise, like my
Yeah,
background or,
yeah,
oh, okay.
background, yeah.
Okay. Well, I kind of grew up in the RC industry. My parents were George and Diane. They had Pickering Hobbies in the 80s. So I kind of grew up in the RC industry, and as a girl, that's really very uncommon. But when that kind of all ended, and my mom had to retire, that's when I decided to kind of to give it a go myself, and that's where Xtreme RC started, and that was in what 2008. 2008 we started up.
Awesome. No, that's good to know when the store started up too. Thank you very much for that information. And Heather Andrews, could you tell us a little bit about yourself too?
I haven't been doing this as long as Heather has, that's for sure. But it's really cool. I'm a mom of 3 adult children, and this was kind of a thing to kind of keep that bond with my son. And I also kind of felt left out, so I started getting into it just so I could hang out with Ray more.
Sounds very fair. I feel the same way. Heather G, is there any more history to how the store came to be?
So basically when my mom, she got ill, so we decided it was time for her to retire. So we started up in Ajax, and we were there for 4 years. And then we decided that we wanted to try to find a place with a little bit more space. We did that. We moved to Oshawa. Everyone told us not to, but we did it anyway. And we started, and we had a little basement at that point. So we did just micro racing. We had a lot of fun with what we had. And since then, we've been 4 years in our new location, where we now have a track built that's attached to the store. So it's a lot more convenient for everybody.
Wonderful, wonderful. I see Tim Swell said Pickering Hobbies was a cool place. So
yeah, a lot of people knew my mom. Yep, for sure.
Wonderful, wonderful. And my cards got mixed up here. 1 second, guys. Sorry. There we go. So sorry about this.
That's good.
Excellent. So Heather G, can you tell us more about how your store would how your store what sets your store as a go-to store for us as NPRC racers?
Well, I would say it's a few things. We have really worked hard to bring in the lines that everyone wants. Drag racing, as you know, it exploded over the pandemic. So all of a sudden you start out with 2 bodies. Now there's, 40, 60, it just kept going. So we've worked really hard to bring in the pro line, the J concepts, the drag race concept stuff, the McLaren stuff. We recently picked up R1 Works. So we're really excited about that. So for us, as well as I have Ken DeLine on staff, it's great because you not only have the product, but you have the expertise, someone to actually talk to and get that special knowledge from. So it's nice because we can provide the customer service as well.
Absolutely, he has a strong knowledge. And I forgot to mention, I always love coming into your store because of the great staff that you have.
Oh,
Definitely,
thank you.
they're always knowledgeable and easy to get along with, and they have a background of knowledge in the expertise field, even if you feel a little lost in it. So
well, and that's the thing. Many of my employees are also on my race team, so they actually go off on the weekends and they run race events at our place as well. During the summer, they go off and race at other events in the States and in Canada. So they really do know, because they use the stuff. They know to give you honest, good advice.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And what was I going to ask? Sorry. So when it comes down to brands, may I ask what you would carry for, well, you kind of already mentioned some of them,
Yeah.
but
So
are there any
basically,
others?
I mean, we have the usual suspects for RC. We've got the Hobby Wing, the Castle, and the Teak and stuff. But I mean, for drag racing, we definitely have the McLaren. We always have the latest and greatest because we have to. And the McLaren stuff, as I say, we just got R1 Works in. We make sure to have Drag Race Concepts. We have Pro Line. We have J Concepts. Ross Speed's another one. We carry all the Exotech stuff. We carry hot racing items. So yeah, we try and give a variety because people like to do their own thing. They like to customize. So you have to give them a variety of items to choose from.
Wonderful. Thank you. And I think Rob has a wonderful question I didn't even think of asking. And he says, how does the NPRC business volume compare to other areas of RC?
Oh, I would say no doubt it has exploded. I would, like I said, before the pandemic, before everything got shut down and it was just starting up, we had a few bodies. We have drag race sections now. We've created spots in the store. So I mean, it's definitely exploded. I would say it has really actually, if any spot in RC has taken the hit, I would say our rock crawling. I've seen that slow down and a lot of guys get into the drag racing. So I've seen a huge crossover. They're still doing it, but it's definitely, the drag racing has definitely grown in the area for sure.
Wonderful. Do you have any, has anyone explained to you why they've switched from rock crawling to ours, to their NPRC?
I think for some of them, it's just something they've watched on TV. They've seen, you know, like you see in Vegas, you see the 1-to-1 scale stuff. And now they realize, you know what, they can do it here. It's something that really wasn't in the area a couple of years ago. And I think it's just exposure. The more people that see it, the more people that do it, the more people that have fun, it's just natural that it's going to grow. So, I mean, I can see it continuing to grow as long as we still have events and people still continue to have fun.
Agreed, definitely. It's definitely a growing hobby for sure. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it last year. We got into it because it was something newer, something different. It looked like not something you would have to,
Necessarily
buy
be an
lots of parts for.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You think, hey, that's something I can maybe try.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
exactly.
and then because if you have classes in different levels, you do have a spot for everyone. So a spot for the beginners and a spot for maybe the more advanced. So, it's something that is open to a lot of different levels of RC.
Wonderful. Yeah. Next question would be, which body style would you say would be your top seller?
Actually, we were talking about this the other day. I think we were between the Corvette and the Nissan GTR. I know that Shark RC has released some new bodies. We are doing a Shark RC order. There's a little plug. We're doing a Shark RC order this week with them. So if you guys want those bodies, let me know because we will be bringing in those bodies in that this week. So, but so far, I think we were saying the Corvette and the Nissan GTR.
Wonderful. Yeah, no, the new Nissan GTR is I think one of the newer ones besides those shark bodies.
Yeah.
And I remember talking with Heather Andrews the other day, about a week or so ago, and she's like, "What's that body that you posted on your group?"
The
And
shark
she's
one.
like,
Yeah.
"Never saw it before." And I'm like, "Oh, it's Shark. I saw it on WebRC." And I go, "I'm not sure about it."
They
But
are really nice. And
yeah.
actually, just so I can say, we were down at Xtreme last weekend or the weekend before, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Because it was a race weekend.
Exactly. Yeah. And the wall was just full of so many. There's too many to pick from.
There really yeah. We have a lot of stock. We're actually we have stock in the back room we have to organize too. It's a bit of a mess, but
yeah, I think I'm going to be back in for that Bel Air body.
Yeah.
And Heather G, would you say it's better to buy a kit car or the full ready to run like Losi or TR10?
I mean, we answer this question for a lot, not just drag racing, because we also were heavy into the racing because we have the carpet track. So we get this question there too. It really depends on the individual. If you know you're someone who's going to get it and instantly, take most of it apart and tweak it and do this and that, and that's what you're interested in and doing all the hop ups, then the RTR is kind of pointless. You're going to get rid of most of what it comes with. So get a kit, do it that way. If you're a person that just wants to get into it for the fun, they don't want to sit and do hours, you just want to come out in the evening, do some passes, have some fun, then the RTR is a real simple, easy way to get into it, and more budget friendly, as we all know, is usually that way. But yeah, we see that with the racing too. I mean, in the end, if you want to be competitive, it's usually the kit.
Excellent.
It's just
Excellent.
how it is.
And I'm going to come to the next question in a minute. I kind of skipped that one.
Yep.
And Heather Andrews, again, thank you for patiently waiting over those questions.
No, that's no problem.
Could you tell us a little bit more on how you got into the NPRC hobby?
Actually, I was on YouTube and I was watching it and I saw it, and it was one of those things of, I really want to try this. I love cars to begin with, and I honestly can't afford to go out and, track a real car and put it in the bush, which is what I do with my car anyway. So I showed it to my son and he took interest in it, and I thought, this is great. We can hang out together. So it took some convincing and we got Ray on board. And that's actually how we met you guys, is he put a post out, and that's how we met Tanya and Chris.
That is amazing. I would have, based on Chris's history with Ray, I would have thought that Ray would have convinced you on getting out. So that's awesome. Sorry. No, that is wicked. And what exactly intrigued you to the NPRC world then, Heather?
I think it was the camaraderie. It seemed like it was just a fun group of people. Yeah, you get the little back and forth, mouthing off a little bit, but it's all in good fun. And it's a great group of people.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry. And what are some of your favorite things with racing in Nprc?
Favorite things? Definitely the people. We have a really good time. It's something different than crawling. I find the crawling really, really boring. Sorry, Ryan. But it's just
I know,
slow.
you can only go so fast.
Yeah, exactly. I need it to go faster. That's why I like the bashing too, but this was something completely different than the bashing, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit more preciseness, I would say, and a huge learning experience compared to
definitely
what I'm used to. What class were you using last year, Heather?
I was running Outlaw, and I'll be running Outlaw again this year for sure.
Awesome. And what was your biggest achievement or lesson last year?
Making it down the track. That was probably, and it happened right at the end. I finally made it down the track without going off into the bush on line 4. So that was pretty exciting for me.
Honestly, I think that's the hardest road we've ever used compared to where we started out with. And yeah, and I noticed even the experts, I want to call them experts, couldn't make it down the track every time either.
Great video from that though. I think it's Yeti.
Yes, did. Definitely. You did. So what were some of the obstacles you had to meet to overcome that goal?
Definitely the first obstacle was getting a vehicle, and at the time I didn't know if I was going to like it, so I didn't want to sink a lot of money into it. So we picked up a chassis from Oh, we picked it up from Yulee. We picked up a chassis from Yulee, and I had Bert, my son, start building it for me. And we were going to just be a team and do it together. So
Yeah.
that's where we began, was this chassis that was, I think it was originally for a skate park or something.
That is crazy. And it's neat that we can change chassis and make them into the no prep options for sure.
It was a challenge to get it into that position, though, where it was no longer a basher and now it's a drag car. So
Very true. Yeah, no, there's a lot of rules for that chassis to fit the NPRC class for sure. Yeah, definitely for sure. So what is your goal for this upcoming season?
I would say with the new car, I've switched cars thanks to a couple of giftings and things that happened over Christmas. I ended up with the not the Brett's got the Slash, and I've got the DR10.
Excellent. Yeah, perfect. So I want to turn it to our audience. If there's any questions you have for either Heather Andrews or Heather from Xtreme. I'll just give it a minute. I do want to bring up something while we're waiting for those questions, because I forgot to mention it in the announcements, and it was something I wanted to add to it, was Heather Andrews and Ray Goulet from Mprc are holding a fundraiser tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow at 11.
So if you can make it out, the details are in our group as well as on their Facebook group,
Yeah.
Mprc Adventures, I think it's called.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and on YouTube too. So
I have the links in. Well, I don't have the link for the event, but I have the links for the Facebook group in the comments.
awesome.
What was the other thing? Who's the fastest in the family? We're not going to let Ray answer that one.
Oh, that's you. Yeah, definitely. The Mprc boss here would be the fastest because he won last year. So, but this year I think it's going to be myself. I gotcha.
We're going to make sure of that for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Ray wasn't answering the question. He was thanking you, Heather from Xtreme, for the donation for the event.
Oh, you're very welcome. Very welcome.
All right. Good questions. So, Heather from Xtreme, sorry. I'm going to ask my next question.
Okay.
Where is it? There's something. Is there any advice you'd like to give to a new hobbyist buying their first RC drag car?
What I would say is I would find out what their local club is running. So if there's certain classes, certain things they're running, if that's what they're interested in, the best place to go is to go to your club, find out what they're running, what the rules are and that type of thing. Then go to your local shop and they'll get you set up. I mean, that's what they're there for. They're there to help. If you know exactly what you're looking for, great. If you don't, that's fine too. That's what we're there for.
Wonderful. No, thank you very much for that advice. That's really something to take home with everybody. And where am I here? Sorry. And Heather Andrews, is there any advice you'd like to give a new racer or hobbyist?
Definitely don't ask me for advice because I'm the last person. But there is so many people in our community that you can reach out to, like Chuck. He gives out so much knowledge and he's so willing to help. So I have to say, just reaching out to whoever's local.
Yeah. And you know what? despite Chuck's third round loss, he's played it really well today. He's made
That's
it farther
amazing.
than he's ever made one that I've noticed.
Nice.
He might have done better in the past, but sorry. Rob is asking, oh, how do you manage so well at having stock, especially with the hard to find parts?
Right. The truth of the matter is I work, and I work a lot. Like no joke. We joke in the shop, but we're never not working. So whether I'm in the shop or I'm home, I'm actually in my home office right now. I'm always sourcing out new vendors, new suppliers, different ways of getting stuff. I also try it right now. Buying is different. So when something's in stock, you can't just buy one or two. You should probably buy 10, because it'll be a while before they're back in stock again. So the way you purchase has to change too. But we're not really afraid of that. As you can see, our store's pretty pretty stocked up. But the reality is yeah, that I'm constantly ordering. Every single day we're putting orders out and getting orders back in, and that's the only way to keep up.
You do an amazing job on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. I mean, I went into your store hoping to find the J concept bodies I wanted, which was a 67 Corvette and not Corvette, Camaro, and 68. Oh, what is it? The 68 Firebird. So,
Yeah.
and I mean, you didn't have it in stock, but you're always willing to do that extra mile and order it in, and
Yep.
it comes in within a decent amount of time. So I was
Yeah, I mean, typically, I mean, we can get orders in anywhere from 2 to 3 to 4 days. Yeah, never not selling. That's our never not selling, never not working. We're all about the customer service. So, I mean, there's a lot of times after hours, we're still working on things, but we all have a goal. We really are a team there. It's not a boss employee type thing. We really are a pretty tight team there. So we do count on each other, and we communicate a lot with each other.
very true. You see it behind, like you can see it in your store, honestly, between the interactions your staff takes and getting the job done. Absolutely. But Robert is asking if Xtreme is going to be getting that new DR10M.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the rule of thumb is you can always think of it. If there's something new coming out, I want it. It's just that's how it is. My suppliers know that too. So they know, we're on first shipments for stuff. If it's new, I want to make sure that when it's coming out, we're one of the first stores to have it. So yeah, we'll absolutely be getting the new DR10 in.
It's a nice looking car. I think it has a few upgrades in it. I just kind of glanced at it today. Forgive me, guys. I apologize. I'm hoping it's better than the original DR10, and at least keeps up with the low C22S, because I was very disappointed with my DR10 compared to my husband's and son's low C out of box stock. So, but after a few upgrades, it becomes sometimes better. So, I hope I haven't forgot anything here. Sorry. Sorry, Heather. And Heather. Oh, so Heather Andrews, are there any shout outs you would like to give tonight?
Definitely my first shout out would have to be to Chuck. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have half the knowledge that we have, that's for sure. He's been amazing at giving us tips and tricks and just helping us get through it.
Very much so. He is he's a good guy. I'm always happy to see him there. It's nice to have some expertise. I mean, he's the guy who's getting us going, and I have to owe it to him. So I want to thank him as well. Heather, I really appreciate that. And Heather from Xtreme, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give tonight?
A couple. Ken DeLine, I want to give a shout out to him. He's been great. He only came to work for me 6 months ago, and it's been a really good experience. He's fit in with the team really well, and I know everyone likes that. And he's now got his got launch at our store too, so we have all those products. But as well, I want to give a shout out to my team. As I said, the team Xtreme. Like we're a family, so and it takes a village. No one did this on their own. I mean, we all worked together to build this. So it's been 14 years, and we'll hopefully do another, well, we'll say 20. I want to retire at some point, but we can keep it going.
You guys are a strong team for sure, and it'll be nice to see where NPRC goes. It'll be nice to see what other options there will be eventually.
Yeah.
But I agree with Kevin James. Walking into your store is like walking into an RC heaven. Like there is nothing.
And that's the goal.
Totally
It's both.
agree.
We've always said the store should be a happy place. You come in, it's a happy place. It's where you have your fun time, and it's away from all the troubles. This is your hobby. This is supposed to be your break away from the crap in life, and that's what we try and keep the place a fun, friendly place to be.
Excellent. And anything else you'd like to share tonight, Heather?
Myself, just that I know at one point we are going to be looking at running some sort of event in the Durham region. I know the last couple of years have kind of gone crazy, and this year's not like it's any less crazy, but we know there is a need for doing something in our area. All the other areas have stuff going. We got to get our crap together here and get an event going. But we will be involved in some way of doing that. But it's nice to get out and support the other events.
Wonderful. Yeah, there's a lot of great events out there, and we can't wait to see them all take off for sure.
Sorry, I just read the comments, Chad.
For the same reason. Sorry about that. How often is Chad in your store?
Chad lives in my store.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
That is amazing. Oh my God. And I'm trying to limit my definitelys. I apologize.
You're good. You're under quota.
All right. So, sorry. Stark. And Heather Andrews, are there anything else you would like to share tonight?
I would like to say thank you to Tanya
Mm-hmm.
and Chris for keeping this going and getting this, setting it up so that we keep racing. And I think it's going to be a really good season, and I'm really excited.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, I'm really excited about this season. We're going to get these races going this year. I was hoping Niagara would have had a few more. Sorry, guys, I don't mean it in a negative way. I was just really excited for seeing your teams out there. And it's kind of nice to see ESO taking a step forward for some cash races, as well as I know Sudbury will be too. So there's a lot of good things coming out this year, and the new NPRC racing series. So that's going to be something really big this year by the looks of things. And the top 5 winners will be going down to Florida for the Nationals, is what they're calling it. And Ken DeLine's comment, I almost laughed when Heather Andrews was talking. Sorry. Our party is getting him out of the store. Oh my goodness. Well, Ken, you just have to take Chad by the hand and walk him out and talk, and you're good.
Yeah.
That went down the wrong way. Sorry about that. All right. And so thank you, Heather Andrews, for sharing your first year's experience in making. Oh, sorry. Pardon me. Heather, thank you so much for sharing this year's or last year's first experience, and looking forward to share a second year with you in the same group on an amazing road with a great group of people. So I'm really excited about that. Sorry. I write everything down because I get nervous and I know I'll forget it. So it's
It's
nothing
fine.
like,
You're doing
it's not
great.
insincere, I promise. Um, and Heather from Xtreme, thank you so much for your time tonight. I know you're a very busy woman, and being an entrepreneur in this world is just, in general, is a big thing to make a lot of people happy from different backgrounds, whether it's NPRC or rock crawlers or bashers or the drift cars, the oval racing, things like that. Like there's just so much out there in the
There's a
remote
lot.
control.
Yeah.
And I didn't even get into the air stuff, sorry. So, or the boat stuff. I forgot about that too. Sorry. And did we have any other questions tonight before we end our show? Just give that another minute. All right, guys. I want to thank you both again for being here tonight. I want to thank you for our live audience tonight, and for you guys participating and giving us a few laughs. That's awesome. I know tonight's a hard night to get a good group of people because of King of the Streets. But no, I want to thank everybody for being here, and for you guys watching later too. I think it will be good information for later on all topics, and it's nice to hear from somebody who had their first year last year versus everyone with experience. I mean, we'll hear similar stories from everybody, whether they're new or newer or have had a few years behind them. Like the people are always great in this hobby. Like there's nothing against it. Sometimes it's like living in a family, and sometimes you have your disagreements is the best way I can describe it. On the worst days, but on the best days, oh my gosh, the laugh, the fun, the enjoyment that you get from it, the adrenaline rush, whether or not you win or lose, is just something different in this sport. So thanks again everyone for being here. And I want to say till next week, I hope everyone has a great week. And I want to hope we all wish for good weather for April 16th so we can get our first race under our belt. Yay. And yeah, I'm really excited.
Yes.
It's going to be, fingers crossed.
Oh, please.
And again, I want to remind everybody to check out that new YouTube channel, Staging Lanes, and subscribe so that way we can also go live there as well. And I hope everybody has a good night. See y'all next week, okay?
Thanks.
Thanks, Tanya.
Bye for now.
Bye.
A little bit early, last year I think it was in August or September. Good. I chose October because where this venue is, it's surrounded by mountains, and you're going to get to see it's fall. So yeah. You've got orange, red, all the different.
My favorite time of year, man.
So the setting, the backdrop to the race is when
the leaves are starting to change colors.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Oh,
I think we got that camera fixed on the finish line, so we're back up and live on the finish line cam. But yeah, yeah. So we're good to go there.
All right.
But King of the Smokies, it's going to be in October. The fall, it's going to be, we're not going to.
Is that Halloween?
It's Halloween weekend.
Halloween weekend, right? Yeah.
Okay. So it's you're going to, I think it's, I could be, I'm not going to say that because I don't know. That might be a long weekend, a 3-day weekend.
I'm not sure.
I don't know what goes. There's something on there that when I looked at it, kind of, but I could be wrong. I could have been looking at some other race. We're not going to have a cap. There's no cap.
Great.
There's 500 people that show up. Guess what? 500 people are racing.
Let's do it. I like it.
We were talking at dinner last night a little bit, some kind of ideas we're going to have.
Yep.
And I'm going to bounce. We're actually going to have 2 tracks there. 2 tracks.
Okay.
So here, in Las Vegas, this is absolutely a spectacle.
Yep.
We got some guys on the line here. Let's watch this race.
All right, race is ready. Watch the lights.
Oh, that's going to be close.
Batman.
Yeah, right lane had a lift. I don't know if left lane chased him down.
All right. We're good. We're ready to rumble.
That was a .001 margin of difference victory.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, I don't know who it was.
Oh, I thought.
Oh,
you were-
sorry,
I
guys.
thought-
I had to. Let me get you guys back up to speed.
I thought you eyeballed it.
No, I'm not that good.
I'm like, man, that's pretty good, Foster.
I don't-
.001 you're calling?
That was Sean Stanford going against Joe Gomez. Right after that, we'll hit Tyler Miller against Nick Skinner. Then right after that is Mark Montoya against Bill Dunaway, Taylor Spencer, David Cruz Holloway. And then Jonathan Schultz is going to get the bye.
Hey, here's the
Philip Staub.
Philip Saab's going to be in the right lane, but he's going up against the CJC chassis.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Left
Yep,
lane.
he sure is, isn't he?
CJC's kind of come on the scene here lately. A lot of
CJC.
people are talking about him.
So the guy in your right lane just brought that new chassis and showed it to us?
Yeah.
Nice chassis.
It looks pretty sweet.
Colored red. Wow. I like the red. You're not a big fan.
I love it.
Oh.
Man, listen, I don't care if my car's fast, slow, whatever. If it looks
It's
good.
going to look good.
If it looks good, it's fast.
Here we go. Oh, Philip Staub
Yeah,
crossed.
Philip Saab crossed.
Philip Staub crossed.
Right lane's moving on. Unless there was a red light. I don't. Right lane doesn't seem too excited.
He doesn't, does he?
Uh-uh. We'll have to see what happened there.
Left lane saved by the red light, potentially?
Maybe.
I don't know.
That's a downfall, Clue. Normally we're sitting up there where we can
Got the
see
bird's eye view.
the
Yeah.
bird's eye view. But
Yep.
hey, I got to tell you, this view is pretty good.
You feel the speed right here.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
feel the
yes,
speed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When the boost kicks in, the turbo kicks in, it's right
Yeah.
about this,
Yeah, you
20-foot
can feel
line
it, yeah.
roughly.